Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about this Onyx Go mic, which is a wireless clip-on mic from Mackie, and it pairs directly with your mobile phone or any PC or tablet with a Bluetooth connection without the need for a receiver. So how does this compare with all the other recording options that you have? Let's dive in and find out today. So when I first started on this channel, I had a lot of options to try to record my voice. First off, I was using the camera with a direct built-in onboard mic. Of course, that sound sucks, so I went on to a lavalier mic, which I then plugged into the camera, and I was able to record slightly cleaner voice. But you know, the curiosity got the better of me. I started exploring things like the Zoom H1N, and the H1N was a nifty mic, but you basically still need to output the signal either to the phone via the mic in jack or to record to an onboard SD card. So you still need to bring this around. The convenient part is that the mic is already built in, and the batteries uses AAA battery, two AAA batteries. So it was quite convenient to bring around, but the sound quality was still a little bit lacking, and the fact that you had to bring this around caused kind of like a problem with convenience. Now, what the Mackie Onyx Go mic is, it is very, very small, very, very tiny. Now, I already unboxed this, I already started using and playing around with it. It's actually hiding right there in the corner. This particular piece here, this is the full size. Now, if I were to switch camera angle, you can see the size of this. And this is all to it, right? There's a mic behind the mic grill here. There's a clip at the back, okay, it's a clip-on, and there's only one button with a TRRS jack for receiving a mic input or outputting via a pair of earphones for monitoring purposes. And basically that's it. Well, there's a USB port here for charging purposes, but basically that is all there is to it, and it is this size. How do you use it? You clip it on, you can use the mic, and you start recording. I'll talk a little bit about all the functionalities and the features of this tiny device here as compared to everything else that I have. So what are the other options that I came up with? Well, I talked about the H1N from Zoom. There is also this Synco G2A2. Now, this is something like the Rode Wireless Go 2, which has two transmitters. Basically, the two transmitters, they are also microphones built in on board. You can also connect lavalier mics to the two transmitters, and it both sends the signal to the receiver, which you then plug into your camera so that you can record the sound from two different sources. But you know, if you take a look at it, there are still three devices. They do have a charging leg to charge all three of these units at the same time, but it is still three things to charge. Then you have this Zoom. This is the P4, and it's a handy recorder. The port track P4 accepts XLR mic input. So XLR mics, they are a little bit clunky. This is a XLR mic. This is the Shure SM7B, which I have not connected it. And what I have connected right now to record this is actually a mic. This is the Rode NTG shotgun mic. Rode NTG 5, which is this particular box here, right? So the whole setup is a bit convoluted, and it goes into a Rodecaster Pro version 2, which is the new one that I've gotten. So this is the Rodecaster version 1, a huge piece of machine here. The sound quality is great, the controls are great, and you are able to adjust anything you want. It is a podcaster dream, all right? Much more capable than the Zoom PodTrack P4. I also have a Zoom F6, which is a field recorder that is a 32-bit field recorder. Now, all these options that I have placed in front of you, they are huge options. They are big, clunky options. Now, this is the entire box of the this is the entire box of the Onyx Go mic. Now let me switch angle and show you what this whole thing is about. So I'm going to be removing this Synco, and you can take a look at what this is. This is the Onyx Go mic. As I have explained to you, this is all there is to it, right? Inside the box, you will find the mic itself. This is the clip-on mic, and this records. This is actually a Bluetooth transmitter that transmits the signal to the phone. So basically what you have is that this is the Bluetooth mic. It also has a headphone jack, which it comes supplied in the box itself. It comes supplied with a very short LED, a custom-made kind of TRS jack headphone. So these earphones, they play stereo. It also has a mic that is built inline, so you can record via the onboard mic, or you can record via this particular mic itself. Now, after I go through all the features of the Onyx Go, I will give you a demonstration of all the features. It is actually mind-blowing. So there are many use cases, plenty of use cases. And if you think about all the other options that I've shown you, and the use case is mostly to record, and there are features that is found on this $120 Bluetooth microphone that is not found in any of the multi-$100 devices here. So this is the Rodecaster Pro 2. It is not a cheap device. It's $700, $699 US dollars, just got launched a couple of days ago, and it doesn't have some of the functionalities that is found here. Of course, if you're talking about quality, if you're talking about fidelity of the recorded voice, this will do a lot better because you can connect XLR microphones with very high output, very clean gain through this device. But it is not something that you can bring around, and it's not something that pairs with your phone. Well, it can pair with your phone, but you know, you're not going to be carrying that thing around when you're recording, right? So I recently had an opportunity to review a car stereo, right? This is from Sony. I haven't got around to it because we were still trying to make that arrangement. But when I thought about the logistics behind that review, I've got to bring the camera. The convoluted setup that is required to do any video recording to produce this particular YouTube video, you'll be quite surprised. In fact, I'm going to show that to you right now, right? And I'm going to do a recording via this Onyx Go clip-on mic that is sending the voice to my iPhone 13 Pro here, and it is the app, the companion app that Onyx Go mic supplies together from Mackie. Actually, it allows for 4K 60 video recording, but I won't be recording at 60 FPS. I'll be recording at 24 FPS. So I'm going to just jump to the Onyx Go mic companion app, which will link up with this particular one. Let me just show you. Okay, this is, you just turn it on by holding on the button. The light will flash blue, and it's trying to pair with my phone here. And once that is done, you will see that under Bluetooth, the Onyx Go mic is now connected. Okay, so this is already paired up. I can input this inside, and it will be able to record via the mic here or the onboard mic on this. Now, I'm just going to take it out. Okay, and I will be clipping it to my shirt. Okay, and I will start the recording to show you exactly where my whole setup looks like right now. Okay, so this is the Mackie app, right? You are able to see, it is capable of recording 4K 60 or 4K 25 or 1080 or 720p, and you are able to switch the camera from front facing to rear facing, so you will still be able to choose the camera that you want to record using. Now, when you do this, there are a few settings that can take place, but I'll just walk you through the recording because I want to show you exactly what is on my desk as a setup so that you can appreciate just how easy this particular solution is. Okay, here we go. And okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and record. Now, the whole signal level is actually being displayed. So it is actually taking the signal from the Onyx Go mic here into the video camera. And this video camera is actually built into the Mackie Onyx Go companion app. Okay, so a very quick run through. This is the Rodecaster Pro, which I have been using for quite a while, and which I have connected to the Shure SM7B. This is a XLR dynamic microphone. This is the other setup that I have. This is a Rode NTG5, which is now connected to my Rodecaster Pro version 2. And we have a Stream Deck, we have my keyboard and the mouse, which is fair. This is the main camera. This is the Sony A7C. is rocking a 20mm f1.8 lens, and this is the B cam, which allows me to shoot something overhead if I want to, and it is using a very wide 10 to 18mm on the APS-C sensor, so it's equivalent to about a 15 to 27 millimeter, right? So basically, if I were to switch, I can actually switch the camera view over here and over here, start recording. Everything is controlled via the Stream Deck right here, including even my lighting. So I could turn on the lighting, for example. Okay, so what I'm trying to show here is that actually there's quite a lot of equipment and the gear that is required to produce content on the channel like this. I know you guys are usually here for my content on wireless audio products, and I have a specific focus on Sonos, but today I just like to share with you the whole complexity behind creation of content on YouTube. It is not trivial. But what I have just demonstrated to you via the clip which I recorded here is that actually you can get away with just this, right? Basically, if I were to do another recording. So this is using the front-facing camera on the iPhone 13 Pro, and I'm using this mic as input. I'm using the camera that is on board the iPhone, and the mic is connected wirelessly via Bluetooth protocol, and that's all you need actually to start producing content. You don't need much else to actually do it. So if I were to take on the job of reviewing the Sony car stereo system in a Subaru Forester no less, I would actually be good enough. It will be good enough for me to just go out with this. And that is the whole setup. The camera, the audio is all taken care of. So the first use case of this Mackie Onyx Go wireless clip-on mic is actually for individual vloggers, right? Vloggers who are one-man show, who create content on the go. You don't have to carry your camera around. You don't have to carry all these field recorders or any handy recorders or any of these wireless lens and everything. Just so many things I can't actually begin to comprehend how much logistics is required to do a show that is out of my studio. I have been very comfortable hiding in my studio, but that shouldn't limit the whole complexity of bringing gear around, shouldn't limit my content creation. So I think this is probably the setup that I will rock, and I will just be using the phone and the Onyx Go, and we should be good to go. So when I'm showing you this clip here, you are actually listening to how this Onyx Go mic sounds. Now, there are a couple of things that can be done on the Onyx Go, and I'm just going to demonstrate it in a quick while. Okay, so I can't show you on the screen because I'm not doing a screen capture here, but if I could just very quickly, okay, I will show you here. Okay, yep. Hi, I'm here. Okay, so you can't see my face, but I can show you the interface right here. I'm going to just zoom in a little bit so that you can see clearer. Okay, so here you go. Well, you can still see my face peeking out here. So there are a couple of things that you can do with it, but I'll just jump to the important ones. This is the mic vocal, so you can control the volume and increase it. So I leave it at 100%, and you can also turn on and off the monitor. So the clip-on mic that you are looking here, you can actually plug in the earpiece, and when you plug in the earpiece, you will actually be able to monitor the recording. And you can turn it, leave it on or off. There are some quirks with this particular software itself, because you can turn on the external mic, well, if you have it plugged in, but I don't have it plugged in. But the moment you want to switch, the software actually keeps prompting you that you need one active, even though one is already active. Now, there's noise reduction. So what you have been hearing is actually noise reduction level 1. I could turn it to 0. And if I keep quiet, you might be able to catch some of the background sound because my air conditioner is running. Okay, so that was quiet on noise reduction level 0. Turn on a little bit. It should appear a lot quieter. Now, the noise reduction is actually pretty aggressive. So if you go to 2, this is how it sounds like. And this is level 3. So the noise reduction algorithm is actually very, very, very aggressive. So I usually leave it on 1, and I think it produces a very clean and nice signal already. Now there's reverb, which I don't use because reverb actually makes your sound sound like there's an echo. I'm just going to show you how this sounds like. So this is reverb level 1, reverb level 2, reverb level 3. Now it's going to make my voice a little bit incomprehensible, so I usually leave it to reverb 0. Now there are a few icons right at the bottom here, which is pretty interesting. I'll just show you what it all sounds. I'm going to speak in this normal tune, this normal voice, and you aren't actually going, anything that you hear that is different in my voice is actually being done by the software and not by me. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy fox. That is the normal voice.
This one. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy fox. This is male voice.
Female voice. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
And this is squirrel baby. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
And this is electronic voice. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. And finally, robotic voice. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Now just bear in mind that at no point was I actually varying my voice. All these effects were actually applied by the software itself. Now, the interesting part about this, which I'm going to switch back camera. Now, the interesting part about this whole setting is that when the mic is actually being set via the app, the settings remain on board this particular mic. So if you're going to be pairing it with another phone or you're going to use another app to actually record, it's going to retain those settings, including the voice changing. Now the voice changing, the PodTrack P4 from Zoom can't do the voice changing. The Rodecaster can't do the voice changing. There are some EQs and effects that you can change your voice to make it sound a little bit more professional, but nothing is as fun as this particular one that I'm looking at. Right, so the Zoom P4, the Zoom PodTrack P4 doesn't have any of this EQ, and the Synco doesn't have any of this EQ as well. So if you think about it, this Onyx Go mic is actually pretty fun to begin with. It is an interesting device that does something that none of the other much more expensive devices are capable of doing. But is it something that you as a content creator are trying to achieve? Probably not, but there are so many small little things that the Onyx Go mic does so well, so fun that, you know, $120 to get this is not too bad. Now, this Onyx Go mic is actually sponsored by City Music. City Music has been around in Singapore for decades, and they have been providing local music producers with a lot of equipment for all the music production needs, including microphones, including drum sets, guitars, and sound production. So Mackie is one of the brands that they carry, and Mackie has been growing exponentially over the last 2 years because of the whole pandemic. So a lot of equipment, a lot of new R&D has been actually put into this kind of sound reproduction in terms of content creation as well. Now, if you look at the rear of this mic, okay, I'm just going to switch angle. Let's hope you can see something here. Yep, you will see here is powered by Sabin Tech. So Sabin Tech is actually a reputable microphone producer, and they do have other devices that is actually similar to this. In fact, I think some of their apps are actually interchangeable, and you can actually use that app from Sabin Tech to actually run this. And that app has a teleprompter. I saw it somewhere, I can't remember where I saw it though. And after you record the video, you can actually use the video and apply subtitles. Now let me show you how this looks like here. Okay, so this is the video recording. There is this button here that says closed caption. If you click on it, it's in beta, right? It will be able to create subtitles of various languages. It's generating it. There's probably some bugs in the software still. I'm actually not very sure how well it actually works, but yeah. See, this is the entire subtitle being generated automatically by analyzing the sound, the voice recorded via the video. So just how cool is that? This particular mic has so many features. I really can't tell and can't I have difficulties trying to come up with a title for this video, so I'm probably just going to name it the Onyx Go mic. I don't know, right? I'm just going to touch on a couple of use cases on how people are likely to use this mic. So, as I've mentioned earlier, if you were a solo vlogger, if you create content on the go, then I think this is probably something for you, because when you record with just your phone, the mic is on the phone, and when it's at that distance, the sound is not great. So when you use this Bluetooth clip-on mic and you're basically placing the mic very near the your mouth, which is the voice source, and it's able to capture a lot cleaner audio. So you can improve the content. And a lot of videos, you must understand that audio makes up like 50% of your content. So you got to take care of video as well as audio and make sure that you are understandable and you are heard clearly by your audience. So this is a great device for mobile content creator. Now, the other thing that you can use this for is if you are on a Zoom call, you might actually want to use this device, because basically when you plug in the TRS jack earphone, this becomes a Bluetooth headset, right? It uses a mic here, and you are able to hear the sound that when you are using your phone for Zoom calls or video conferences. It can even be paired with your laptop because it uses Bluetooth. So as long as your laptop has a Bluetooth connectivity, you are able to use that as well. So in a way, you are able to improve the audio. But of course, you could use any number of Bluetooth headsets out there, and it should work wonders as well. So one of the key features I'm gonna just try to highlight here is if you look at what it writes here, phone call recording. Phone call recording, right? There is a setting within the app that when you click on it and you receive a call, the call comes in, it actually starts recording, and we record in AAC or MP3 format, not the WAV format within the app. You are able to get two tracks, right? On the left track, you will hear your own voice. On the right track, you will hear your the caller's voice. So you have these two tracks and they are completely separate. Now, when you are recording voice, it is going to be mono anyway. So it uses the left and right channel to record track 1 and track 2. And in post-production, you can then merge them as mono, and you will be able to edit the voice independently. So just how cool is that? And that is from a $120 device right here, right? 2-channel recording already. So if you think about that, if you have a podcast and you are hosting a podcast, this is one of the smallest and cheapest and easiest device to actually buy to record dual track, multi-track in a way of your podcast. If you have a guest on your podcast, you call the person, that is being recorded in 2 different tracks. So that is the other use case that you have. Now, because it does phone call recording, not for any illegal purposes, but you are able to, with the permission of whoever you're trying to record the call with, you could save them as records, especially if these are business calls and you're trying to log stuff. But in a lot of places around the world, that recording a phone call is actually illegal. So do make sure that you comply with your local laws and regulation. Of course, I've shown you all the effects where you can mask your voice. So if there is any reason for you to want to mask your voice so that people cannot recognize your voice, this is the device that can help you do it. To be honest, it's more for fun than for anything. Why would you want to make yourself sound like a serial killer? So TikTok has grown in popularity over the last couple of years, and vertical format videos, short format videos, they are making a comeback. If you notice the Mackie app just now, it actually records in a vertical format. Of course, you can rotate it horizontally and take landscape, which in post you have to then adjust and rotate it 90 degrees. But by default, it is actually a vertical video. So when you think about that, the app is actually engineered to create content for vertical short videos like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. And with this particular device here, you are also able to kill the vocal through the app. So if you play a song, it can actually mask out the vocal, muffle out the vocals, and you can sing along to it. So it is like a tiny, small little karaoke machine in this particular form factor. And when you play the song, you are able to sing along to the song. Well, if that's your kind of thing, that's not my kind of thing. I can't sing, but if anything, I think this is something that a lot of youngsters, a lot of young and budding YouTubers who are on the YouTube Shorts, as well as TikTok content creators, will find useful. So once again, thank you. I almost didn't want to review this device because I made a promise to you guys that I will only review things that I want to keep and things that I actually will end up using. So I did say to City Music that if I can't make a video about it and if I don't find a use for it, I will return the device. But you know, this is something that I want to keep. So thank you again, City Music, a very reputable music supplier, music equipment supplier in Singapore. I'll post the contacts down below. I'll post their address down below. So if you have anything that you need from Mackie, from speakers, from studio monitors to microphones to PA equipment, it is there, right? They are the premium. And actually, if you do visit their store, they welcome you to hang around, to play around with their equipment. They even have a podcast studio, a podcast studio right in their store itself. And if you hang around long enough, you will see that there are actually a lot of artists, a lot of local artists, a lot of music producers from Singapore who actually visit the stores and hang around. In fact, when I was last there, Gurmit Singh dropped by Phua Chu Kang. For those of you who are around my age, you will recognize this guy. For those of you who are young, you probably would know. For those of you out of Singapore, I don't know. I don't think it's an international name, Gurmit Singh, but I love that guy. He's funny and all. Okay, I am derailing myself. I'm going off tangent. Basically, if you ask me what this is good for, I think it's great fun. And if I were to be out creating content, this is all I need for great video and great sound. I'll catch you in my next video.